Welcome back to Mimi's Organic Eats. Today we're making one of my all-time favorite summer pies, this apple berry pie. This pie was a bestseller at my bake shop and it combines the best of two iconic pies. Apple pie combined with mixed berry creates a lightly sweetened apple pie that's bursting with fresh berry flavor. If you guys can't decide between apple pie and mixed berry, then you have to make this apple berry pie. This apple berry pie is also naturally eggless, and I'm gonna share one of my top tricks for getting a super golden brown and flaky pie crust without eggs. So let me show you how to make it. So the first step in making this apple berry pie is to make my butter pie crust. If you guys are new to making pie crust, I have a full tutorial on how to make pie crust and I'll link that in the description so you guys can check that out. Today I'm gonna do this in my stand mixer, but you can also make pie crust by hand if you want. So I have 227 grams of all-purpose flour and 1 teaspoon of cane sugar in the bowl of my stand mixer using the paddle attachment. And now I'm gonna chop my cold butter. And we're using 170 grams of cold butter, and you want to make sure this is cold straight from the fridge, guys. So whenever making pie crust, I always recommend cutting your butter in half. Then cut each half into thirds. This is gonna give you the best little cube size for buttery, flaky pie crust. Once your butter is chopped into small cubes, then we're just gonna add this to the mixer with the flour and sugar. Then you wanna make sure you have your 7 tablespoons of cold water ready. So we're gonna mix this on low until the mixture looks like wet sand. And all that means is the flour is going to coat the butter completely. The butter chunks may break up a little bit, but we really don't want them to break up that much. And so as soon as that happens, then we're gonna add in all the cold water at one time, continue mixing until you have a shaggy dough. And it may not come together completely. You may see some dry bits of flour. That's totally okay. As soon as it comes together enough, we just wanna stop the mixer. And then we can finish mixing this by hand to combine the flour completely. So next you wanna make sure that you have 2 pieces of plastic wrap ready. This is gonna be for our top crust and for our bottom crust. So next we're gonna go ahead and just combine this dough with our hands a little bit more. You just wanna make sure that the flour bits are completely mixed in and we don't wanna see any dry bits of flour. And so if you guys see little butter chunks, that's great. We want butter chunks in our pie crust. That's what's gonna make it super flaky. So once our pie dough kind of comes together and we're not seeing any dry bits of flour, then we're gonna form this into 2 pieces. So if you guys wanna weigh this out, it's gonna be 312 grams for the bottom pie crust and then 170 grams for the top pie crust. And then you guys just wanna form each one into a round disc. This is gonna make it easy for us to roll it out because we have a round pie pan. Now you're just gonna wrap your pie crust tightly in plastic wrap. You wanna make sure you wrap these tightly in plastic wrap so they don't dry out in the fridge. And now this has to sit in the fridge for at least 6 hours or even overnight before it's time to roll out your pie. You guys can also freeze pie crust just like this. Then if you wanna thaw it out, just put it in the fridge for 24 hours and it's ready to roll out. So once your pie crust is chilled, we're gonna preheat our oven to 350 degrees. Now we're gonna make up our filling. So I have a large mixing bowl with 113 grams of cane sugar. Next we're gonna add in 21 grams of all-purpose flour. And next I'm gonna use 1 teaspoon of organic cornstarch. And I like using cornstarch with a little bit of flour mixed into the pie filling. This is going to ensure that the fruit juices are going to solidify in the oven because cornstarch is a natural thickener. Using cornstarch will ensure your pie crust doesn't have a soggy bottom. And it will also ensure that when you cut the pie, the fruit juices don't just run out when the pie is cut. And so if you guys don't want to use cornstarch or you're avoiding corn, you can also use tapioca starch, you can use arrowroot, or you can even use potato starch in its place. So now we're just going to set this filling bowl aside while we chop up our fruit. So you guys are going to need 2 large apples to make this apple berry pie. And so I'm using Cosmic Crisp today, but I usually like to use Fuji or Gala, Pink Lady, any sort of like sweet variety of apple is going to be perfect in this pie. But if you guys really prefer a traditional Granny Smith apple, you could use that in its place as well. So I like to leave the skins on my apples whenever I'm making apple pie. I always did this at my bake shop because it was faster, but the skins also have nutrients and so I actually love them in apple pie. But if you guys want to peel them as well, you can also do that. And as you guys chop the apples, you can just add these into the bowl with the filling. Next, we're going to de-stem our strawberries and slice them into thin slices. And you're going to need about 8 ounces of strawberries. And then last, we have some fresh blackberries, and I have 170 grams of fresh blackberries, and we don't need to chop these, we're just gonna add them right into the mixing bowl. And now you just want to mix this together completely. We just want to coat the fruit in the sugar mixture. Once our filling is all mixed up, we're gonna set this aside and we're gonna grab our pie crust from the fridge. So we have our pie crust here, and you guys always wanna wait till the absolute minute you're ready to roll out your pie before getting it out of the fridge, because you want this pie crust to stay as cold as possible before it goes into the oven. This is what's gonna give you a buttery, flaky pie crust. So you're gonna add a little bit of all-purpose flour on top of the pie crust and onto your work surface. So you're gonna roll out your pie crust to a 1/4 inch thick, and you wanna make sure that it's a little bit bigger than your pie pan. This is going to ensure that you can have enough for the crust to fold it over, crimp it, and flute it. My top trick for getting really even pie crust is turning it 45 degrees. So roll a little bit, turn it 45 degrees, roll a little bit more, turn it 45 degrees. This is going to ensure you get a really even pie crust, that it's gonna bake up really nice and evenly and super flaky. So once your pie crust looks like it's about big enough, you wanna grab your pie pan and place it just right over the top. And if it's a little bit larger than your pie pan, then it's ready. So this looks like it's perfect. So now you just wanna transfer this pie crust to the pie pan. And then lightly press it down on the bottom and on the sides. And if you guys notice, I didn't butter or grease my pie pan. This is because I'm using the Lodge cast iron pie pan, and this one works so well you don't even need to grease it. But if you guys are using a different kind of pie pan, I would recommend greasing it. But I will say that the best pie pans to bake pie in for the most buttery, flaky crust is going to be cast iron, stainless steel, and aluminum. Don't use ceramic and don't use glass. Those are not going to give you great results with your pie. I have a whole video on the best pie pans to bake with. I'll link it below. So now this is ready to just set aside while we roll out the top. And a little trick for you guys, if you guys are new to rolling pie and you're not that fast at it, you can go ahead and actually place that pie crust that's in the pie dish in the fridge so it's chilled while you're doing this step. If you're not quick at rolling out pie, that is going to be your top trick to get the most buttery, flaky pie crust. But because I owned a bakery for over a decade, I can roll out an entire pie in about 5 minutes, and so I'm just leaving mine out on the counter. So once this top pie crust is ready, it's going to be about the whole size of the top of the pie pan. You don't really need to make this one much bigger. And now we're going to cut this into 1-inch strips because I'm going to lattice this pie. But if you guys don't want to lattice it, then go ahead and just skip this step and then move right on to the filling step, and you can just use this as a top pie crust. The only thing you need to do if you do that is make sure you create about 4 vent holes right in the top so this pie can breathe in the oven. But I'm gonna lattice this pie because I'm obsessed with lattice pie. I love how you can see the fruit filling, and I think they just look so cute. So you guys can use a sharp knife to cut this into 1-inch strips, or you can also use a pizza cutter, which is my top trick. It's so easy. So I just have a pizza cutter here, and I'm just gonna go along here and just cut this into 1-inch strips. So now you're gonna have 1-inch strips that look like this. So we're gonna set this aside. Go ahead and grab your actual pie crust now, whether you need to grab that from the fridge or if you left it out, we're going to add the filling in now. You can use a spatula or you can use your hands, but we're just gonna dump this filling right in. And now some people will tell you don't put the excess liquid of the filling into the pies. And I don't believe that at all because that's where a bunch of flavor is. And so you definitely want that extra liquid. That's why the cornstarch and flour is so important. So it solidifies in the oven and it doesn't give your pie crust a soggy bottom. And so now you just want to spread this out just a little bit just to get like a flat, even layer that we can put our lattice strips on top of. So now we're going to take our lattice strips and we're going to place them across the pie. So you're going to go all the way in one direction first, placing them about 1 inch apart. And so to make the lattice pie, we're just going to add strips going the opposite direction that we just did. And we want to make sure that we're going over and under each strip. And that may sound hard, but it's really easy. So all you're going to do is pull back every other strip. And we only have 2 strips, so we're just gonna pull back this second one and this 4th one. Now we're going to add one of our other strips going perpendicular, and then just put back those strips going right over. Now we're just gonna pull back the other 2 strips that we didn't pull back the first time. So that's gonna be the first one and the 3rd one. Then we're gonna take another strip of our pie crust and lay that 1 inch apart going across the same way as the last one. Then we're gonna put those strips back. Now we're just gonna repeat this until all the lattice strips are gone. Now you want to go around the pie and fold in that excess dough to create the pie crust. You're going to go all the way around the pie. And it's about 1.5 rolls. You're just going to roll that extra pie crust right into the center of the pie, and you want it to be even with the edge of the pie pan here. And so now we're gonna flute the pie. And all this means is we're just gonna take our pointer finger of one hand and our thumb and pointer of the other hand. Then we're going to press it into the pie and create an indent to create a pretty crust around the edge. So if you guys don't wanna do the flute, you can also just take a fork and crimp down the sides of the pie. That will create a really pretty finish too, and it's even easier. So now it's time to add our pie wash on top for a goldeny brown finish on this pie. So you guys can use traditional egg if you want, but I'm making this pie eggless just by substituting the egg for heavy whipping cream. This is one of my tricks that I give you in my book, Effortless Eggless Baking, but heavy whipping cream works just like eggs because it provides fat on top of this pie, which is gonna brown it and crisp it up in the oven. It's gonna be very similar to egg, but you're gonna have an egg-free pie. So you just need about 2 tablespoons of heavy whipping cream, and you're just gonna brush this on just like an egg wash. So once you guys have the pie wash on, then it's time to sprinkle this pie with turbinado sugar. This is my top trick for getting that sparkly pie crust with the perfect texture. And you just want to sprinkle this all over the cream. Now it's time to bake our pie, and we're going to bake this at 350 degrees for about an hour or until it's golden brown. Don't be afraid to bake your pie a little bit longer because you want to get that golden brown crust. You can even turn the oven up to 400 degrees for the last couple minutes to ensure you get a golden brown crust. So my top trick whenever making any pie is to put your pie pan on a baking sheet, guys. Just like this. This is going to ensure that you don't get fruit juices all over the bottom of your oven or on your oven rack. While everyone strives to make a perfect pie, sometimes stuff just happens and you can have an exploded pie in the oven. This is going to be the best way to avoid that. Trust me, I know from owning a bakery for over a decade. So let's bake off this pie. And now we have a delicious apple berry pie that combines the best of classic apple pie with summer berries. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to drop a like and leave a comment below. And if you want more pie recipes just like this, be sure to hit that subscribe button and join me next time in the kitchen.